Hi everyone. Please start by downloading the Shakespeare text in the file located on your Canvas page. Have that ready for use later in this lesson. Next, we're going to add a new HTML file to our class folder by using VS Code. We want to create a Shakespeare.html file in our labs folder, so I'm going to open VS Code and choose my Open option. Find and choose the class folder to load it into VS Code. The files inside my folder will show up on the left. Then I'm going to select my Labs folder. After selecting the Labs folder, click on the New File icon, create a new file, and name it Shakespeare.html. Now, because I use the HTML extension, VS Code knows that HTML is the language that I'm using, so we don't have to actually select that like when we create a brand new file without having a folder selected in VS Code. And next, I want to add the skeleton code, the basic HTML tags. So I'm going to add the skeleton code by clicking in line 1 and typing in an exclamation point. And then I can check my desktop files to see that this file is actually located in the correct folder. Now go ahead and locate the Shakespeare document that you downloaded earlier. And copy and paste the text between these body tags. Remember that all content in the page always goes between the body tags. So we'll come back to that text in a minute, but first, I want to update my title tag. I'm going to go ahead and type in Shakespeare because the title tag needs to represent what's going on in the page. The title tag should always represent the page you're working on. It shows up at the top of a browser tab. So if I were to look at this DVC website, the title tag in this website is Diablo Valley College. It shows up here at the top of the browser. So you can see that the title is something that's really important to always make sure you put in a web page. And let's go ahead and check out the page in a browser by clicking on the Go Live link. All of the text has been copied into the page, but there's no formatting. It's all just thrown in there in one lump paragraph. And that's because HTML requires tags to format text. So let's go ahead and start doing that. I'm going to start with the H1 tags. Every page that you work on needs to have H1 tags and often H2 tags, sometimes H3 tags. H1 tags signify the most important headings in the page. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and add my H2 tags. Now, when I look at it in a browser, you can tell that the text that I have the H1 tags wrapped around is larger than the text for the H2 tags. By default, browsers display H1 headings larger than H2 headings. So what's going on is browsers have their own styles. And those styles tell the browsers how large to make type and what font to use. Later in the course, we're going to overwrite those styles with our own style sheets. And next, let's do our line breaks. We're going to use break tags to do that. For some HTML, only one tag is needed, and this is an example of one of those times. Usually, though, it's an opening and closing tag. For example, a paragraph tag, which is used more often than a break tag, it leaves space between the lines. It requires an opening and a closing tag. Now that I've got all my brick tags in, let's go ahead and look at it in a browser again. It's looking good. Okay, guys, more fun coming up.